him. I didn't know that was his book
Mm-hmm.
until you said, and then I looked at it, I was like, oh, that's him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we are live. Hey y'all, hey, how y'all doing? I'm the Hood Unicorn. With me, I have Teacher Anitra. We
Hello.
are two members of the All Hustle No Fear Book Club. And we just wanted to get on because we want to start incorporating live reviews of the books that we're reading. And it's really cool because we've been doing this for a year now, because we've been doing the book club for over a year now. We're like,
Yes, we have.
yeah, we're like a year and like 4 months in, because we started in January, right?
We did. We
We
did.
did. So, okay, so we've been doing this book club now for a while. I'm actually looking at part of my library at some of the books that we've read, and I'm actually really proud of us because we have been doing exactly what we said we want to do, which was to increase our output,
Mhm.
to elevate ourselves in a way where we're becoming better people, or at least trying to be better people. So no, this isn't pre-recorded, Bowman. We are live. I see you
Hey,
talking.
Bowman.
How you doing?
We
But
live, live. We
I
live,
know,
live,
right? But we really, I think I really have enjoyed being in the book club and getting the different perspectives. That's one of the things I like about the book club the most, is
live.
that
Hmm.
as we're reading, like, especially like, okay, Teacher Nitra, you're a teacher. You might have looked at something from a perspective that I wouldn't have looked at it from an entrepreneur standpoint.
Correct.
And so I like that about us. I like all of our different backgrounds when we're reading the books about, you know, self-development, or when we're reading the books about you know, Outliers was a really good book to me. And I don't think that was the consensus amongst the whole group. But I think I liked Outliers because of the historical values that they were adding to a lot of the stuff that they were talking about.
So I have Outliers. I did purchase it, but I really never got into it because we went to another book.
Mm,
And I was behind on that very first book, because that very first book we read, that was long. The seven principles of highly effective people.
yeah.
It is a long book. I think it was like almost 400 pages, or right at 400. So it took me a little longer because I definitely joined this book club because I needed to read.
Hmm.
Um, and for those of you, I know she always says teacher Anitra. I am an accountant by day and a teacher by night. Because I know they probably like, listen, this teacher don't even like to read. I don't. So, but I teach English to Chinese kids. So what I
Oh
have to read is
wow.
definitely different. Now, I did used to be a brick and mortar teacher. I did. I taught web page design to
Mm.
high school and middle school kids, or either micro computer applications, things like that, Excel, Word, or personal finance. Those are the things that I taught.
Okay.
But I am no longer in the classroom. I'm an accountant by day.
Okay.
But I'm still
Makes
a
sense.
teacher. I still take that title. Everybody always is, putting me in that role. So I accept it welcomely because I think that is one of my
And you
gifts.
definitely have a teacher spirit. Like you
Yeah, and a
definitely.
teacher look, the glasses.
Yeah. So Bowman asks, what is Luster about? So show everybody the book Luster. Mine is in my car, and my husband just took my car, so I don't have my book. It's by Raven Leilani. Is that
Hmm.
how you pronounce her last name? Leilani?
I think it is Lee Lanny. I'm gonna say Lee Lanny. We're gonna go there.
Okay, so truth be told, this was the very first nonfiction book fiction book that we read, right?
It was.
And everything else that we've been reading has been about self-development or organization. I think Atomic Habits was one of my
That was one of my faves.
that was one of my favorites, right?
Hmm.
So this was like a palate cleanser for us, and we just wanted to read something to just, continue our habit, but to just, get a little palate cleanser. And this came from Anitra. So Anitra, why did you choose this book? Like, what
So,
made you choose this book?
so here I go trying to, okay, I'm trying to build this habit of reading. And I have a friend, and I told her about our book club. And she was just like, "Oh, I don't want to read personal, development books." I said, "Okay, cool. That's cool. I understand. It's not for everybody."
It's not.
So, she said, "Well, I think we should start our own." And I was like, "Okay, cool. I mean, it's just a bunch of friends reading books." So this was her suggestion because she had heard about the book. So I was like, "All right, cool. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna read it." And as I started reading it, and I think we were reading a book that was
Yeah.
Power to the People, Black Woman, Hear Me Roar. I'm going Black Panther this, Black Panther that. And I think we needed a little bit of what can I call this? We need a bit of hoism.
So the last
So
book we read, okay, I read that as if this lady was standing on a podium, like speaking to every middle class white lady who has ever said, "Can I touch your hair?"
that
That
part.
book really made me feel like I was in a intro to African American studies class,
Yes, yes.
and it just was real triggering at that moment. I
It
couldn't take
it
that
really
book.
was. Yeah.
And I could understand, like, somebody who I'm trying to explain what um critical race theory is, great book for them.
Correct.
You want to learn
Pick
what
it up.
critical race theory is? Read this book. So I understand the palate cleanser. Okay, so let's get to Luster. Let's talk about Luster, because I keep saying this, and this is the only way I can describe it. This a whole book.
It is. It
It's a
is.
whole book. Oh my God, this a
But the
whole
crazy
book.
part is, as I'm looking at the top of it, somebody from the Oprah magazine recommended it. Listen,
Not Oprah recommending
it
this.
was not Oprah. Let's be clear. It's somebody named Michelle Hart who works at the Oprah magazine. I don't. It says Michelle
Okay,
Hart
so let's
at the
let's
Oprah
let's give
magazine.
them the premise of this book. So this is what I got from it. I'll let you give me your premise. This is what I got from it.
Okay.
One, I can tell that the author is possibly a millennial because of the way that she writes. There were some times where it was kind of hard to keep up with her thought process. It wasn't a concise thought, but as you read it, it made sense. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Correct.
really hard to explain it, but after you read something like Eric Jerome Dickey, or after you read something like
Mm,
Michael Baisden, or you read Sister Soldier, and they paint these beautiful pictures that you can follow along. You know what I mean? This girl was going it like it was ADHD sometimes. Like, one
I
minute she's
was just
talking
about to say
about,
that.
yeah, one minute she's talking about the present, and the next minute she's just going off in a tangent into La La Land and describing
Yeah.
something that I don't know. Wait, oh, we're talking about something else now. Okay.
I was
Okay.
like, there were a couple times where I kept going like, wait, did I miss something? Let me go back because, but I understood because listen, as an adult, I realized that I have ADHD and I have sometimes the tendencies to go on a left. So, but to read it,
It seems weird. It's weird.
it was,
It
it was
really is. And the ending, like, okay, this is another thing that I'll give you about this book. It feel like you literally get just a Instagram reel of this girl's life.
correct.
Like literally, there's just a small glimpse of this girl's life, and you're just left wondering, how the fuck did we get here, and where the fuck do we go from here?
Like I felt sorry for her, like, you
Oh, it
know.
was a couple of times where I was like, this bitch is dumb. Because I don't want to give away the book, but the scene in the car, the scene in the car, I'm screaming at the book, like, I know you didn't just let him do this.
Like, bitch, is you nuts? Is you nuts or not? Let me speak in your millennial language. Is you nuts or not? Because
It wasn't giving for me. And it almost seemed as if some of the scenarios that she put, because what I'm getting from it is like it's a coming to age story. It's that aha moment when something, this is the event that happened that made me get from being a child mind and being 21 or 23 or however old she is, to knowing that I'm an adult and I need to move like an adult. That's what I was getting from the book. Like, that's what it was supposed to try to, like, this was the scenario. That's not what it was given to you.
but was she still moving as an adult? Because who? What
Oh, I
adult
am
you
supposed to give
know?
away the spoilers, Bowman Lee. Okay, if I'm supposed to give away the spoiler, why did this black girl let this old white man punch her in the face during sex? Like, I was so mad
No,
at that.
wait. He punched her in the face before the sex twice, and then she got on top of him and started doing him in the car. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
What's wrong, sis? But
Okay.
there's definitely one part of the book where she talks about how she's growing up and
Yeah.
how her father, um I don't recall if he did certain things to her, but he did mistreat her in a way that she definitely longed for a father figure.
She definitely had some father figure issues, big
Yes.
time. She definitely had some father figure issues. Bowman, it wasn't a fantasy. It was
It was her reality.
yeah, like so basically the premise of this book is this young lady lives in New York, and for lack
Slash
of
New Jersey.
yeah, for lack of a better way of explaining it, like without trying to sound crass, but being very crass, she was a hoe.
it,
You know
it
what I'm saying? She
was.
was very promiscuous. She was promiscuous all around her and within her job, and it cost her her livelihood in some kind of ways. And so, throughout the book, she has fallen for this older married man,
Mm-hmm.
and the things that unravel behind this mistress mister affair.
Mm-hmm.
And then just to throw in the fact that this man is married, but he has an adoptive teenage or preteen black daughter.
Black daughter. And they don't understand, him and his wife do not understand how to really raise her.
And the whole dynamic there
It
becomes this weird Nanny McPhee.
it's it was all over the place. This book, her life, is
It
all
was,
over the
like I
place.
said, it was giving very millennial writing.
It
You know,
was.
this was a
It
very
was.
millennial type of story. And and not just that she was looking for men, for her father through other men, but more so like she was looking for um
She used her body instead of her brain in a lot of situations. And she did mess, because remember when she was younger, there was an older man who house she used to stay at. She missing from her dad's house, like, because I don't recall where her mother is.
well, they were making it, her mother killed herself, right?
That's right. That's right.
Her
That's
mother
right.
was her mother was 5150.
Yeah.
And so that was the issue with her mom. And again, it was like her realizing all these issues that she has and watching how it's manifesting her life. And what I really got from it is sometimes we are so in the story that we're not paying attention to the overall story of it all. Because
Correct.
at some point in time, this girl should have realized, like, I should not be living here.
Where she means is living here is that okay, so since he said give the spoilers, at one point she has lost everything, her job, her apartment, she got evicted, everything. And she ends up meeting the wife of the mister, and the lady offers for her to come and live with them.
But this is the thing. She offers it while he's out of town.
And then when he shows up, he's like,
Oh, you've just been
what is
you know where the cups is at.
you know how to you know where the silverware, you you know the garden in the back of the house, you know where to put the sheets and the towels. You're familiar with my house, but you're supposed to be my side piece. But if we go back to the beginning, how she was living was horrible in the first place. Like the rat eating the carrot cake that she brought home, like it, her life was in shambles, I think, because of her mindset from her upbringing. That's what
She
I got from it.
she really, the way this lady described New York in this book,
It was true.
like the way she described New York, I would never,
I would never live there.
I would never move to New York. Never.
I'm good.
Understand me?
I mean, DC had rat and roaches too, and I ain't going back there either.
I have never
But not
seen a
like that.
rat.
Uh,
I have never seen a rat.
mm.
A mouse. The most I've ever seen is a squirrel in the house. Okay. And I was mad at the squirrel. Like, you don't
What is
belong
you
here.
doing here? Like, but
So
it
yeah,
definitely
and I'm not taking anything. I believe it's a good book. I believe
it
she's
is.
a good writer. Um, it's just been so long since I've read anything like that it just kind of took me aback. Like, this what we reading now?
But it
And I
was a
think I'm
good
more
it
so
was a
talking about
good
the writing
story.
style. And I'm talking more about the writing style, not the
Correct.
story.
Correct. Because the story was very good. And honestly, somewhere out here, somebody
Somebody's
is
going through it.
going through this story. They have
Hmm.
been molested when they were younger, or their parents didn't care, their mother died, they had nobody, and their
Hmm.
life is in shambles because of that. And this,
Hmm.
and so, not that it was relatable to me because I had my parents, but somebody out here is like that. And
Hmm.
it gives you a reality of, oh shit, this could be real.
I kept feeling like I was the auntie in the group, or like I was the auntie reading the book, because I kept wanting, like, I kept just saying, sweetheart, can you please just slow down and look at what you're doing? Like you're not making any decisions. You're just letting life happen.
You are.
Like, she did not, and the way that the author was able to kind of take you through that, you really felt like this was, because we even asked in the group, we kept asking, how long has this been going, like, what is the time frame?
Yeah, we
And
did.
what was it? I think the time frame was less than 6 months of her life. it,
It
it,
really
it
was.
really felt
Like,
like it was less than 3 months.
because I can't remember. I know she was staying with the people. It was becoming fall. I like, I don't know, because she said it. She was like, it looks like it's fall. And I'm like, oh, like
Like, you've been here for a little while.
yeah, because I mean, it was just I like it definitely was an eye opener. Um the one thing I got from it is that thank God for the choices and the people I had in my life that I wasn't, thank God for my village. that I wasn't in this predicament, because it could have been any one of us. Not to speak about my personal life or anything like that, because it doesn't bother me, but I was molested, and so that could have taken a turn, and I could have been this girl, but I was not, because I had my mother, I have my father. He's, that's a whole nother story, but I have my village,
Mm.
and
And she
I
was
was
saying
not
she
allowed.
was
She
alone.
had no. I
She
heard
had
her say
no one.
nothing about friends.
No.
Nothing. Her
Because
mind was
even
so
her,
messed up.
even,
The girl at her job, she couldn't even be friends with her, because she just.
and I was thinking about her roommate. Like, you literally live with someone, and even the person that you live with, you don't feel some sort of connection with them. So yeah, I would recommend the book for someone who wanted to read
Yeah,
something. It's
yeah.
definitely a good book. It's worth the read. Um, You can find the book on my website on All Hustle No Fear. It's up there. But I will say that this a whole book. This a
If
whole
she
book.
slept with everybody from the rooter to the tutor,
When she
I'm not
went down the
lying.
list of everybody she had slept with at work,
And that
and
was like in chapter 2. Like,
and
she started going in.
she was non-discriminate. She said she fucked with the girl from the mail room, the guy from accounting, her boss on the third floor. I
She
said,
did not care. She did not care. In the
I said,
stairwell, in the, like, it didn't matter, y'all. I
I thought
promise. And it was
I
like,
thought everybody had a rule where if I okay, this is what my mama taught me. If you mess with a boy on the football team, you can't mess with nobody else in sports because all
that
of them
part.
don't talk.
That part right there.
Like, you didn't mess within a clique. And to
No.
mess with somebody at work and to mess with multiple people at work, bitch, you only a hoe if they know.
Everybody fucking knew.
Everybody
Because
knew.
she didn't care.
Everybody knew. That was crazy.
Yeah. Bowman, I don't know. It happened. It actually happened twice. I want the first time I was 10 out, and the second time I was 11. I It does not necessarily bother me. Um, both people are deceased at this point in time. But I don't know. I've never had it to bother me at all, honestly. I just think
She doesn't know how it has bothered her. I'd rather you say it
I
like
will say that. I will say this. I don't know. It may have bothered me when it comes to my choice of men. That's what I'm thinking. Cause I'm a let me help you type chick. And somebody told me recently that might be controlling. Cause maybe I'm trying to control the situation before it controls me. Maybe that's it. But as far as intimacy, I will say this. I have learned. Um, I mean, you know me. I'm an open book. I tell my business. I might not tell anybody else's. It has been well over a year since I've done anything, and that's by my choice. I have options, but I just choose not to use them,
mm,
because I notice when I do go into a relationship, I do feel like I have to have intimacy with you immediately. I have to know what it's like. I have to figure out
mm.
if you suck or not. Because if you suck, I don't want to be with you. and that could be, and that could be how it affects me
Is
with
somebody's
intimacy.
phone ringing?
But recently, I when I dated someone, I waited at least 30 days. It wasn't enough time. I should have took some more time with that. But still. So, but yeah, I don't know. Like Sunshine said, I don't know yet how that may affect me. I have theories, but I don't know yet.
Yeah.
And I was so young, I did go to counseling because it was mandated by the court. But like you said, as an adult, I haven't seen that it affects me, but it definitely could be affecting me.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as me going around just fucking everybody like this girl, nope. Nope.
Okay,
I'm not
so
making those mistakes.
so let's talk about the next book that we're reading in the book club. So you
Mhm.
just got your book, and I've had mine for about a week now. So I've read a couple of pages ahead of y'all, and I slowed down so that I give y'all a chance to catch up. But I chose this book this time. I wasn't giving Teacher Anitra another chance to pick it.
Wait. I chose the Tabitha book, and that was a good one.
It was that was a
See,
good one. Tabitha was a good book.
it was a good book.
But so I chose this one because I wasn't about to let Teacher Anitra choose another one. I meant what I said.
I feel like every year we need to have a book that's outside of the personal development just to
I
clean
absolutely agree.
the palette just a little bit.
I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. So, um, we chose. Go ahead and show the book we chose. You got it? Didn't I?
Oh no, it's hold on. I can get it. It's in the room.
I feel like I just had it though.
You said you had it. I can go
Girl,
run and get it real quick.
okay. I'm gonna go get mine. You go get yours.
Okay, hold on.
No, not that one. It's a big book. Ugh.
All right, I'm coming back.
I got it. I got it.
I got mine too. I had to go in my office, which is now my bedroom. So
Okay. All right. So the book that we are currently reading is You O You. This book is by Eric Thomas.
Mhm.
I have been listening to Eric Thomas now for like I want to say about 2 years. I've been I've been listening to his motivational messages now for about 2 years on Instagram and YouTube, and I really like him.
Mhm.
He is he calls himself the hip hop preacher, and the way he talks to you definitely is in a preacher's way. But I like the don't feel sorry, just get up and do what you got to do, the hold yourself
Correct.
accountableness of it. And as I've started to read this, I hear him reading it. I find myself reading it in his cadence because like I said, I've listened to him for so long, and some of the stories that he's already talking about, like his forward from Chris Paul and him explaining everything with him and his mother, a lot of times he starts his motivational messages off talking about those things. So, one of the first things that I have, and I don't want to talk too much about it because one, we're supposed to be talking about it in the book club. And two, this is just us to, kind of, spark people's interest. You can get this book
Mhm.
as well at
Mhm.
allhustlenofear.com. It's in the book club tab or whatnot. But one of the first things that I noticed was how he was just saying he chose to be homeless, and he chose to isolate himself away from other people that could help him. And that when you're by yourself, it's so much harder to move forward. But having people around you who love you, like sometimes you don't realize that you're the one that's pushing them away. They're not going anywhere. You're the one that's pushing them away. So I'm looking forward to reading this book.
And
It's
too.
definitely an easy read. I would definitely say this book doesn't read over eighth grade level. Like
Okay.
it's not going to be a hard read at all. But I'm definitely
It's
I'm
kind
in,
of like Atomic Habits. Like that was an easy read as well.
it was an easy read.
And I'm gonna say this girl in this book, she needed this new book. She needed to know
Yes, she
that baby
definitely
girl,
she definitely
you don't
did.
have to sleep your way to get anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But the
Yeah,
crazy part is that she wasn't even getting anywhere. But anyway, that's a whole nother.
right.
People nowadays sleep and get
Three
money, get
dollars on the
trips,
dresser.
get rent paid. She was just sleeping to sleep.
Like she slept and got a job. Like, who sleep and become the nanny?
That ain't the
Anyway,
job I want. But anyway.
anyways,
But I like I only read the intro.
okay.
But the second paragraph of the intro says it's a manual to help you understand your power and your purpose. And that hit me because I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Last year, at the end of last year, I was really trying to understand my purpose because all my life I thought that my purpose was to teach, to be in a classroom, actually teach. I'm not there. I'm clearly I am not in a classroom. Well, being online, but I'm still teaching in other ways.
Mm,
So maybe that's still my purpose, or maybe my purpose is something else. And so I've been asking God to reveal that purpose to me. And
hmm
I hope that this book can help me do that as well. Maybe he put this book in Sunshine's hands to put in my hands so I can know my purpose.
That's
So
what's
when I
up.
saw that, I was like, oh, okay, God, all right. Okay.
It come though, right? It come the way it's supposed to come. So I also got our next two books as well.
Oh, let me write these down because you ain't tell us.
I
Look, I ain't even
know.
got no pen up here.
It's okay. I will drop the links in the book club. In the book club, you know I will. I'll drop the links and I'll even create the telegrams for them so you don't have
Okay.
to worry about it. So here is our next book after this. Here we go. The Power of Discipline. You know how I
Okay.
feel about discipline. So I'm
Yes.
really looking forward to this one. It says how to use self-control and mental toughness to achieve your goals. So this looks like a
Mm.
really dope book. Again, it looks like a very easy read. It's not a very long book or whatever, just about 150 pages. Nothing that'll take us too long to get through. One of the things that we try to do in the book club is to read 5 pages a day, which is 10 pages if you do front and back. And
Mm-hmm.
most books are about 100 to 150 pages. So the theory is that we can really get a book done in 2 weeks if we stick to our what? Discipline.
Discipline, but life
Discipline.
does get in the way.
It does. It does. It
And
does.
you may forget to read your 10 pages. So we try to do 30 days on a book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like at that point, we like, all right, let's wrap
Yeah.
it up.
Let's come on, y'all got to finish up the book, and that's the
Yeah,
beautiful part of it because it's like it's somebody else that's pushing you to finish the book where you might have put it down. There's other people in the group like, nah, come on, what's your perspective on these pages? Let me get your pages and tell me what's up. And so you're talking about the book with somebody else as you're reading through it, which is also helping you to keep reading the book because you want to be a
hmm
part of the conversation. You don't want to be the only person out of the conversation in the group. You know what I mean? So I
that's
like
true.
that part. I like that aspect of the group as well. The other book that I got for us is Mastery, and I got the
Mm,
concise version instead
okay,
of getting the expanded version. So with
okay.
Robert R. Greene books, he puts them out in two different versions. One of them has all of the historical context with it, and it be about this thick.
Mm-mm. You know, I get discouraged. I be like when we got this book, I was like, oh, it's kind of big and thick, but
That's what he said.
but if it's like this, I might, you know what I'm saying, it was like, I could probably read that. Or like even Atomic Habits wasn't as big or
Right,
whatever. But
right.
that seven, listen, that first book we read, it was big.
We had to get through it. We definitely had to get through it.
Yeah.
But what I like about this book is this book talks about when you are trying to learn a skill, when you're trying to be a master at your skill, that is so much that goes into it. And it kind of helps. I think this is a really good book for entrepreneurs because when we start feeling like we should be there. We should have it all. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like why it ain't happening for me right now. Well, baby, you got to go through a couple of different things. And this talks about those different things that you have to go through to get there. You know what I mean?
But
Um,
that's not even entrepreneurs. I would say it's anybody because if you are a career minded person and you
mhm,
feel like you're not there, then
mhm.
what am I doing wrong that I'm not there? Or
Right.
even me, even not even that. Like me, my focus for the last umpteen years has been a house. Why am I not there? Because I haven't sat down. I'll start something and stop.
Hmm.
So I need to master. Listen, I need that book.
What
I'm gonna order it.
what's your imposter syndrome's name?
Oh, I don't know. I gotta
Because
come up with a
that's
name
who's
for
stopping you
her.
from buying the house.
It's me because I keep buying other shit versus buying a house. Like I can't stay the fuck off
Mhm.
Amazon. Like let me tell you, I just bought something before we got on this call. Only because somebody keeps stealing my fucking packages. So I bought a doorbell camera to put at my door. And I bought another book called The Ugliest Cry. But anyway, because I heard it was good. I probably ain't gonna read it yet, but it's gonna be on the shelf. Um it's called Excuse Me Why I Ugly Cry. But yeah, because I might need an ugly cry for a day or two. You never know. So yeah, so
Hey,
that's me.
okay, wait a minute. Instead of sending your Amazon packages to your house because they
Mhm.
keep getting stolen, they have those Amazon boxes.
That's what
And
I'm about to do.
yeah,
That's
and
what
they
I'm
be
about to
having
do.
them at like Family Dollar, or I've seen them at Quick Trip. Send them to the damn box and go pick your own
They
shit.
even stole my baby Sheen package on Tuesday when we was at the beach. I've been here 5 years and ain't never had a package stolen. And all of a sudden,
Just cause you here go my drink. Just cause you've been there 5 years don't mean it ain't somebody who just moved in the neighborhood that's new.
clearly,
Bowman. Bowman, delete all the apps.
that part right there, yeah,
Delete
that's
all the
a
apps. You need discipline, delete all the apps. Start there. Delete
that
all
can
the
become dangerous only because if it's messing with your finances where you about to be on the street.
hmm But sometimes you have to do something drastic. So look, okay, for a very long time, for like 3 or 4 years, everybody know I've been dabbing. I was dabbing, but I also started noticing that it was messing with my breathing, and
Mm,
it was taking. I had to dab way more to get the same kind of high.
mm-hmm.
So I tried a couple of different times to stop, and I didn't. So I made a drastic change, and I threw away all of my rigs. I threw away everything that I had so that I could dab, and I was able to break the habit. And sometimes people be like, well, you should have been able to break the habit without doing all of that. No, whatever it takes for you to do to break the habit is
Do
exactly
it.
what the fuck you had to do.
Yeah. So
You know
you
what I
trying
mean?
to say I need to shut down my Amazon account? Is that
If
what you
that's
mean?
what you need to do.
You're right though. You're right.
Tell your
I have
mom.
begun to hide
This
all
is
the credit
this is what
cards.
you do. No, 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 no. Make it easy for you. Tell your mom to change the Amazon. You got Amazon Prime, don't you?
I do.
I know you do. Tell your mom. Tell your mom, cause why wouldn't you? Can I borrow your passcode real quick though, so I
Listen,
can
I
watch
got you.
the movie?
I got you.
I need to watch Harlem.
I got
I
you.
got 2 more episodes left for Harlem. I need to watch.
I
But
got you.
but tell your mom to change the password, but let me get it first and log
Hmm.
in. Let me get it and log in first. But tell your mom to change the password.
Yeah,
And it's not like you just gonna go get a new Amazon Prime because you got to pay for that, and you already
and you
paying
do,
for one. You know
and
what I
you
mean?
do.
You want to save some money? The money that you've been paying for Amazon Prime, you need to put that in your account every month towards your house.
Well, listen, I
No,
did. No,
no.
no. I'm just gonna tell you what I did. I don't pay the full price of Amazon. Listen, because my daughter gets Medicaid through schools, so it's
Okay.
$5.99 a month. So I did. And listen, I'm a frugal shopper, but I
Okay.
just shop
Okay.
too much, and I
Don't you
know
go to
that.
Starbucks all the time too?
Why you gotta? Why you? But no. Okay, listen. Let me tell you what I did. I do go to Starbucks all the time. I do. But this is what I started to do. Look, sunshine. I have my own Keurig. I have my own coffees. But you're right. I do because this morning I left the gym and went straight to Dunkin' Donuts. Why would I have coffee here?
See,
You're right. It's discipline, mastery. I owe me, not these companies. Yeah. Cause I'm like, I said, so I gotta get me a house. I'm tired. My rent keep going up, and it's going up $128 a year. I mean, a month, starting in June. Exactly. So, I could be
If
in my
they want
house.
you to move out, just say they want you to move out.
Clearly, that's what they want.
So every month it go up $128.
Yes, that is
For
the
what
renewal.
reason?
The renewal is going to be $128 extra a month, and I can afford it because I've been blessed with a promotion. However, how am I gonna save if I'm giving you my 128? You know, so yeah, and I think God is. I always say things happen for a reason. It's like, all right, you said you want a house. I'm about to raise this rent. Now you finna go out here and really get your
I'm
credit
gonna
together and get a
find some
house.
friends that's some real estate agents because you need to be doing what you need to
And
be
I
doing.
got a friend that's a real estate agent. I
What
need
you need to be
brokers. I
doing.
need people to tell me how to clean this credit up and get it together.
What it, ask because somebody gonna answer.
You
Ask
right. You right.
because somebody gonna answer.
You right.
Cause the fuck.
Okay. Listen. I might move in with my mama. Stop playing. Yana, we gonna sleep in the bed together. We gotta go move in with mama.
You definitely ain't gonna have no sex doing that shit.
It's already been some time. It's gonna be some more. Okay. Unless they got a house. That's a whole other subject. Cause
So
yeah.
before we get out of here, before we get out of here, I do want to say I have thoroughly been enjoying the book club. It is a lot of fun. Thank you guys very much for staying on this journey with me, and I appreciate y'all keeping up the book club. It was a thought. I've been having this thought for a couple of years that I wanted to start a book club. I didn't
Yes.
necessarily know how to, but I also didn't care about that. And hopefully it'll grow. Hopefully we can get some more men in the book club, you know,
Mm-hmm.
get some more people on the lives who have read the book. Next time we'll make sure to let people know we're going to go live when we plan it. You know what I mean? But I'm looking forward to reading this book and just keeping this habit up. It's a great one to have. It really is.
It
It really
is.
is.
It
I've been
is.
enjoying it.
I enjoy it. I'm learning a lot about me, about things I need to do. We just had a whole therapy session just a couple of minutes ago.
Don't even be knowing it.
But don't even be knowing it. But it's necessary in order for everybody to grow. So, but I've definitely, because I would have not. I haven't picked up a book and sat there and read it in my hands in years.
Hmm.
I was an Audible reader, but then I cut my subscription because I'm like $14.95. That's too much or whatever. But I'm buying books once a month, like, because I just want to increase what I'm doing. Now, have I read them all? No, but I'm gonna get to them because they're there. They're sitting at my desk, and I'm gonna open them because I know I need to.
So I've always been a reader. And one thing about growing up, about reading that I love was that I feel like it really gave me an extensive imagination. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I can really just imagine and think of things, and it comes in handy when I'm trying to be solution oriented, when I've got to come up with different things. You know what I mean? Even with the stuff y'all see me doing, I imagine it with my eyes open, and I think books have a lot to do with that. I'm looking at some of my books that are over here that we haven't read in the book club, but just really stood out to me, and just like, you know I get it. Not everybody can sit there and just be calm, and people say it's boring or whatever else the case may be. But sometimes you have to push yourself to do things you've never done before, and you're absolutely right. There are things that they put in books so that we never read, because we never read them and we would never know. But each one of these little things is a wonder to me. Think about it. This was all in somebody's head. And they sat
Hmm.
there one day and they manifested what they were thinking into written form for people forever to be able to look at and to
Correct.
possibly learn from or just enjoy or whatever the case may be. So I like reading. We laugh and joke about it. I'm like I'm a little nerd or whatever, but
You are,
um
but it's okay.
I
You need that nerd in your life. I mean, come on.
yo, I got so excited when I met that girl and she said her dad was the maker of Super Soakers.
Yeah, I knew who that was too. I was like, oh,
I got so excited. I was like, "Your dad worked for NASA." She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "No, I know."
I know your dad. He might not know I know him, but I know him. In
Oh,
my
you
head, he's a friend.
you got money because your daddy
Hello.
screwed the fuck out of them fucking.
Hello. Hello. But you know, the crazy, like this, I've had this idea in my head, and you've had the same idea too. And it's to create our own books. And mine is more so a children's book because I don't want to give the too much of the details because I don't want I don't want to turn around at somebody. Not saying anybody gonna steal, but somebody come out with the idea and I'll be like, really?
Right. No, I get it. I get it.
Because I'm slow dragging with it. So somebody might be like, oh, that's a great idea. Let me.
But no, you have not said in our accountability group
I did
what
not
you need
yet.
to be held accountable for. And so
I'm
yeah,
gonna put writing my children's book, and
there
when
you
you
go.
see it, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, yeah. So, but yeah, so us getting into this book club has definitely brought a lot of ideas to your head and mine when we were thinking about doing something as far as young kids
Yeah, I
and
would love to start a book club for high school students,
yeah,
like or have a book drive for high school students with these same kind of books. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like think about if you could have gotten your hand on a book like Mastery when you were in 12th grade
correct.
compared to reading it at 25 or 30 or 40 for the first time, you know? What if you read a book like the seven habits of highly effective people when you were in 11th grade or 10th grade?
It was gonna take them a minute to read that though, but
But I mean, it
but
just
they would have
depends
read
on the
it. And
kid.
it was I would say Atomic Habits. That's an easy read. They can definitely get in their mind, okay, you know what? I gotta do something about myself. I
Hmm.
gotta create habits. I gotta stack them. I gotta and you know, even with that book, even though we read that a minute ago, it has definitely changed me where I'm like, all right, you know what? If you want to do stuff on you TikTok, you gotta be better. You gotta start doing more videos. You want to lose weight, you got to go to the gym. For the last 2 months, I have been consistently going to the gym Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I've been posting my videos on TikTok. I found a way. I just did a Trader Joe's video today. So it's like, even though like the books may hit you then, and you know what I'm saying, you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this. But still later on down the line, you're like,
They stick
that's
with
what
you.
that book said.
Yep.
I read something the other day and I can't remember where it was. I think it was one of my workout apps. Cause some days if I don't go to the gym, I work out at home. And it had a quote that was in Atomic Habits. I was like, okay, this book keeps coming up. It's a
Mhm.
reason. It's a reason
And
behind this.
and the other thing about reading I love is I'm a word hoe.
Listen.
That's what this girl called me the other day. She my homegirl. She was like, "You word hoe." She said, "You teach me new words every time I'm around you." But I learned the words because, and I think you know what? I would like to add that as part of our book club.
Hmm.
Let's start putting the words and definitions of words that we didn't know. So
Okay.
if you come across a word that you didn't know, look up the definition and put it in the telegram because a lot of times it's not everybody's habit. It's been my habit because it was something my mom made me do. But I
Hmm.
remember when I used to read books, my mom would be like, if you don't know the word, then write them in the front page of the book. and after you finish reading or whatever for that night, go back and look up the
What the
word.
word means.
Right,
Hmm.
because then we had to go and find a dictionary and look it up, right? But
You
now
got one on your phone.
you have your phone right there in front of you. And so
Yeah,
soon as you come across a word that you don't know, look that freaking word up and try to use that word for the week. You know what I mean?
correct.
Like,
Yeah.
think about it when we were young. If we didn't know a word, we literally had to find another book to look up what we had just read in that book.
Listen, and them dictionaries and encyclopedias wasn't no joke. First of all, you had 27 encyclopedias. Probably not 27 because I think some letters was mixed with each other like X,
You
Y, and
couldn't just
Z.
have just a dictionary, you had to have a thesaurus too.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean? And now you can you don't even have to know how to spell the, remember that was the other part. You had to figure out how to spell the word.
Pronunciate it.
You
That's
be
it.
looking all through
Listen.
this book trying to find this goddamn word. Now all you got to do is say to the phone. You don't even have to spell it right. The phone will pull up the word and says just get it close. Just phonetically sound it out, and the phone will find the word. These kids don't realize how good they got it, and I'm so mad at them for making me sound old as hell when I say that. Cause
We
I feel
we
like I sound like an old ass white man talking about these kids don't know
these
how
days.
good they get. Boy, I tell you, these kids don't know how good they got it. Goddamn,
Cause back in my
goddamn
day,
phones can just look up the words right then there on the goddamn phone. God
they
dog.
they got that thing called, like my grandmother the other day called me and said, I want you to go to that place where you can buy all those clothes. I said, what is that? She said about at the line, at the line. I said, you mean online? You mean online? Online. All right, I got you. Like, but do you see what I mean? Like it's like, oh, okay. They don't even know.
They don't
We
even
ha-
know.
we do we even though we grew up, we now appreciate what we have
Mhm.
because I will not buy Britannica and put in my house.
Mhm.
I will download the app.
I'll Wikipedia the fuck out of that shit.
Hello, Google. How do you pronunciate?
You see, the only reason why I haven't made prostitute shirts yet is because of the spelling. And
Yes,
I want to get the right spelling for it because it's not really a word,
it's
but
not.
this day and time that don't mean anything.
No,
So,
not at all.
but we have been on here for an hour. I wanted to give us at least an hour to
Oh,
sit and talk. Thank you so much, Teacher Nitra, for
you're
always
welcome.
showing up and showing out. I really did enjoy Luster. If we piqued your interest and you would like to read Luster, like I said, you can visit allhustlenofear.com, and under AHNF Book Club, you can not only join the book club with us, but you can also get any of the books that we have talked about this evening
Hmm.
and a couple of other books that we have that we've read in the book club, because like I said, we've been doing this now for about 16 months. 16 months sound,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think we're on book number, what is this, book number 9 or 10?
I believe so. I have them all in my room.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
we
So
do need to go back to a food book though, because
we do. We need a food book that will teach us. Okay, so if there's anybody out there that's watching this, jump in the DM or send a message or something. But we need a food book that teaches us what to eat and how to eat. So the food book that we found, I think I actually have it down here.
it's still on the floor where it was.
Stop it. Don't do that. Don't do
I
that.
promise you, and I have to clean up that corner because
Don't do
I,
that.
I bought an exercise bike.
So we bought this book and we started reading it, but we all realized very quickly that this book was more about the politics of food.
Mm-hmm.
which it still was very interesting. And I might go back and read it while reading other books. You know what I'm saying? Like pick it up here and there, read a chapter or two a day or whatever,
I
because it
think
still
so
was very
too.
interesting. Like why we call certain stuff imitation crab or imitation food, or why some of our foods aren't over in different countries because we call it food, but they can't call it food. And the only reason why we're allowed to call it food is because the FDA changed the specs of what food is so that they could do this stuff. Like when you start really listening to this, you really start realizing that our world is so political. We can't get away from, like, look, we all gonna die of cancer. That's there it is. It's some, if you don't get shot, you gonna die of cancer or heart disease or something. And it's because
Something.
of the political nature of every goddamn thing we do. It's politics is so ingrained in everything, and I would have never thought that politics is in our food the way that it is. I would have never thought
Because
that
I saw
politics is in our food.
I
Like,
saw a post the other day, and I also had some peanut butter in the cabinet, and I was wondering, I was like, is this expired? Like, does stuff really expire, or do they do that so that you can go back and buy more? I thought about, because that peanut butter was just fine, but yeah, it was expired. The date on there, and I didn't feel like going to buy no more. But I wanted a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
and there's a difference between expired and sell by date.
Correct. I don't. It's in the cabinet. I don't know. All you had to do, because remember when we was growing up in the hood, you had a little oil at the top of peanut butter. All you do was take the little knife and mix it up. That's what I did with that peanut butter and put it on my peanut butter jelly sandwich. I
Ain't
wasn't
died
sick.
yet. Ain't died
Not
yet.
yet. So, but I saw a post when somebody was like, it's some pepper in the cabinet, and the pepper said it expired in 99. And they were making a joke about, now, mind you, I do not have pepper that expires in 99 in my house. But I'm saying they were making a joke about how your grandparents or parents may still have seasonings that are old because they feel like they don't expire.
So my grandma would get so mad at me when I would come visit in the summertime, because one of the first things I would do is I would go and I would clean out her refrigerator.
I do
And
that to
she
my
would be
mom
like,
too.
"Why are you throwing my food away?" And I'd be like, "Ma'am, this expired 2 years ago." And she's like, "It's okay." I'm just, one time I remember it was some milk and it was so old. And she said, "Girl, that ain't nothing but some good buttermilk." I said, "Oh my God."
Now I did that to my mom before.
I said, "No, you won't. No, no. No, we are not going to the hospital because we drank buttermilk that started out as cow's milk. No,
Correct.
no, no,
Correct.
no." But there's a reason why our grandparents lived through the Depression. And because of that era, they didn't throw away a lot of stuff. And so our grandparents still had that mindset that you keep everything. We have a
Because like
very,
when we froze milk and then take it out, the day has passed. So how do you know how long? See, I just started thinking, and I was like, bruh, I might need to pop back open that book because maybe it has the answer for me. I
and
thought
don't
that
mess around with a
yesterday.
grandma who freeze bread and everything
And
else.
I have done that. Because let me tell you something. Somebody came at me the other day because they said, Nitra, throw your bread away. Listen, Wonder Bread does not, until I see green on the bread.
Okay, y'all, that's the end. That's the end, because I know you not eating no penicillin bread over there. This is time. It's time. No, no, no,
Wonder
no.
Bread don't expire.
Yana, Yana, call me, baby. I buy you some fresh bread, baby. Don't you let her feed you. And then the fact that you still eating Wonder Bread, I know
Oh,
you.
because let me
No,
tell you,
no,
Walmart bread will be green in a week.
it will. I,
Wonder Bread, I've had this bread. Well, I have a new loaf. I could walk over here and show you if you like. Just me. But the other bread I had was here for at least a month and a half and no green on
this is All Hustle No Fear Book Club. We have enjoyed
it. Yes.
discussing the book Luster. Show them the book, baby. Show them the book.
I got the book. I got the book.
We've enjoyed discussing Luster, which was the last book that we read in our book club, and we are currently reading UOU. You can
Yes.
find both of these books on allhustlenofear.com. You can also join our book club at allhustlenofear.com. Thank y'all so much. We appreciate you. I see you on Monday for All Hustle No Fear. Bright and
Bye.
early, 7 to 10 a.m. Y'all already know that's 8 to 10, but y'all know what I mean. All right. So I'll see y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.